Hi everyone, I am Gohar Arzu Chand, KS 2018 batch. In this video, I'll be talking about my preparation strategy regarding environment. Now, all of you know that the Indian Forest Services examination is also conducted along with this examination. So, covering environment is very important when it comes to your prelims examination, particularly. Now, the best part about preparation regarding the environment is that you have one very particular book that you have to read, and you don't need to go beyond that particular book. Now, I personally referred this Environment by Shankar IAS, and it's very popular in the market. I have the 6th revised edition. I'm not sure whether any other edition is right now in the market, but you can always check that on Amazon. So I also bought this book from Amazon. So see, when it comes to prelim syllabus, you again don't have very well defined prelim syllabus. So you have, I think, the 3 words mentioned are ecology, environment, and I don't remember, there is one another word. So that doesn't clearly define what you actually have to study. Now, this book almost covers every aspect of your environment preparation, whether it's static or it's some aspect of the current affairs as well. So the source I would suggest you for environment is this book only, Shankar IAS. But prior to this, if you want to read, you can read the last 4 chapters of the 12th class biology and CERT. They are they contain very basic information about environment. You might not get a lot of questions from them, but yes, they are good in building some basic concepts for this environment. But even if you read this book without going about those 4 or 5 chapters that are in that biology and CRT, so you can very well start from this book as well. Now, see, a lot of times when people see this book, it has a lot of factual information in it, which becomes very difficult to retain at times. Now, what I will suggest is that you read this book from cover to cover. It's very interesting. It's very important from examination perspective, and you definitely won't be getting any question out of this book when it comes to static questions particularly. Now, for current affair, I'll be talking shortly about what sources did I refer for current affairs, but prior to that, I'll just discuss what important chapters are there in this particular book that you have to read. Now, see, the first part of this book is environmental ecology. Prior to that, see, a very important part of this examination is covered in this book, that is the previous year UPSC question papers. You should definitely be going through those, but going through those without reading the book won't be a good strategy. First, go through the book, and after that we can come back to those questions and solve them. A lot of times you will see that a lot of questions get repeated in various examinations. So you should never neglect these previous year question papers for any subject, for environment, for polity, or for that matter for any other subject. So that would be one strategy that you should follow. But first of all, you should read this book, and after that you should come to the questions part. Okay, so see, the first part of this book is environmental ecology. It has basic concepts regarding ecology, then functions of an ecosystem, which has very important topics like food chain, food web is there, then tropical levels are there, then there is this ecological pyramid, biogeochemical cycle, ecological succession. These are all very basic and very important topics from which you will definitely be getting 1 or 2 questions every year. Okay, so you cannot neglect these parts. Like these are very basic concepts, and most of the people know about these things, but you have to cover them in a bit detailed aspect. So you should be going through these basic concepts from the very first part of this book. Then there is this third chapter is about terrestrial ecosystem. See, ecosystem part, there are different types of ecosystems mentioned in this that you will be covering in your geography subject. Even if you have not covered that from geography, you can still cover them from this particular book. It mentions about different ecosystems in India. And then there is one very important topic, that is desertification. This has to be covered. This is very important. Then there is State of Forest report. I think in 2019 a new report came out, so you should read that. But in my book, the 2017 one is covered, so you can neglect that. But the right now the relevant report is the 2019, which came out in 2019. Okay, Then again there is this important chapter, that is aquatic ecosystem, in which you important topics that you should be reading. See, you can give reading to all the topics that are mentioned in this book, but some of the topics that I'll suggest you that you should not neglect in any case. Okay, so the next topic is eutrophication, very very important. Algal bloom is very important. Wetlands are very very important. Every year you will get a question. Then the related concepts regarding this wetland, that is Montreux's record and the Ramsar Convention, coral reefs, coral bleaching. Then you have the initiatives around the cleaning of Ganga. So these are some important. Then environmental pollution you have to cover. See, there are 4 or 5 types of pollution that you have to cover in any way. And renewable energy is again very important. Right now very important. We do have a target set for some 2022, or I think that has been extended now, I'm not sure. But yes, renewable energy becomes very important. Then there is environmental issues. See, some of the environmental issues are very important here. Almost every environmental issue mentioned here is very important. But I think for prelims purpose you can skip this chapter, okay, because it mentions mostly the stuff related to mains examination. So this you can skip for your prelims examination, but for mains they are very important. Then environmental impact assessment. See, this topic is very prominently mentioned in your main syllabus. So right now for prelims you can skip it. Some factual information here and there you can cover, but you don't need to read it. You can read it for mains. That I'll be discussing in some other video. Then the next part is about biodiversity, basics of biodiversity. Everybody knows, but if you don't know, well and good, read this book. You'll be getting good idea about that particular thing. Then red data book, very important. Modes of conservation, ex situ, in situ, very very important. Then you have the schedule list of Wildlife Protection Act, very 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 important. So these are some of the important topics that I am mentioning that you should be reading. And of course the critically endangered species are, for the matter, endangered as well as critically endangered, and some of the extinct species that have gone extinct in recent times. Then you have protected area network. This is very important chapter in which you will be reading about the wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, the biosphere reserves, sacred groves, community reserves are also there, biodiversity hotspots are there. Then you have the conservation efforts in which you read about the conservation of different species, like there is Project Hangul is there, particularly for Kashmiri Hangul. Then Project I think Tiger is there, Project Elephant is there. Vultures are very important due to that particular drug, that is diclofenac. So they are very important. Snow leopard is very very important. So these are some of the conservation efforts for one particular species that you should be having basic idea about. For example, when it was started and what is the progress in that direction. After that, very very important topic, that is the climate change, in which you will be reading about the greenhouse effect, the global warming. And then I think there are some important concepts in chapter number 21. You can check out in the recent book that you will be buying whether it's chapter 21 or it has been changed. Then chapter 21 contains some of the concepts like carbon sequestration, then carbon sink, carbon credit, carbon offsetting, carbon tax, geoengineering. So these are very very important concepts. You should be definitely having idea about this. Then ozone depletion. See, again these concepts we have read back in some other classes. So I don't think there will be any difficulty in comprehending these topics. But still, I would say that if you find any concept difficult, you can always take help of YouTube, like I used to do. So for example, you might not understand what this carbon credit is. Now go to YouTube, search carbon credit. You will definitely be getting a YouTube video in which the author will definitely explain this concept in some simple language. So then there are some commitments that India made regarding climate change that will be covered in next chapter. So these things you should be reading. Then there are climate change organization like UNFCCC is there, Kyoto Protocol is there, RED is there, then Climate Smart. Then you have the other mechanisms of UNFCCC. So these climate related organizations you have to read. Then there is one important chapter regarding agriculture. So one question will definitely be from this chapter. there are a lot of different aspects around agriculture. They have been brilliantly covered in this book. You should be reading. Then there are acts and policies like the Wildlife Protection Act, Environmental Protection Act 1986, National Forest Policy. These things we have to cover. The basic idea about these things, some important feature that pertains to this particular act, so that you have to cover. And after that, there are some organizations in India that are related to environment. That is the Animal Welfare Board is there, Central Zoo Authority is there, then Wildlife Crime Control Bureau. You should be having idea about what is the objective of this organization, where it is headquartered, and any recent news regarding that particular organization. Then there are international conventions. It is very important topic. I don't think I need to mention its importance. You have the CBD, you have the Ramsar Convention, you have CITES, you have Stockholm's Convention, Basel Convention, United Nations Convention to combat desertification. So these are important, and I don't think that I need to talk about their importance because everybody knows that. So you have to cover them as well. So these are some of the important topics that I felt that you should not be neglecting. Apart from that, you have the national parks. What I personally did was that I picked up 3 to 4 important national parks in every state, and went to Wikipedia and searched about what important species are there. Any particularly when a critically endangered species, or when an endangered species in that is in that particular wildlife sanctuary. So that becomes very important. After that, what I did was that I arranged them state-wise. For example, in Jammu and Kashmir, I picked up 4-5 important national parks and wrote in front of everyone about important species, where it is located, and any other important feature concerning that particular wildlife, wildlife sanctuary, or for that matter national park. So this exercise you should be doing for all the states. Pick up 4-5 important. See, when you will search national parks of Bihar, so you'll get the first 2-3 national parks you have to pick up. Okay, then read about them from Wikipedia or from any other source that you want to follow, and write them in your notes. And that is the exercise you can do for your national parks, because every year you will see that there are questions regarding national parks. Then you have a lot of times your national parks will be your tiger reserves, so you should be having idea about this as well, that which tiger reserve has highest number of tigers, and these are some important facts that you should be knowing about. After that, there are some biosphere reserves, and 12 biosphere reserves are, I think, in the UNESCO's by UNESCO. There is some program of UNESCO, I'm not able to recall right now. So you should be definitely having idea about those 12 biosphere reserves. And particularly nowadays they are asking questions that which of the national parks are covered under this biosphere reserve. So you should be having idea that which national parks get covered under these biosphere reserves, and what important feature, any other feature that is there in that particular biosphere reserve. Then there are Ramsar sites. So again, I did the same thing. I picked up a state, searched Ramsar sites in that, made short notes on that what particular species is in that Ramsar site. For example, Loktak Lake is, I think, a Ramsar site, and there we have the one particular species. I'm not able to recall the name. So this way you can cover the national parks, the biosphere reserves, and the Ramsar sites. After that, then comes the current affairs regarding environment. Now, see, I personally read Vision IAS only for the current affairs, and I think it is more than sufficient. You don't need to go anywhere for current affairs regarding any subject. So I did refer Vision IAS only for environment section, and mostly what you have to cover is the recent international conventions, or any other international convention that is in news due to some reason. Then you have to cover some species which is in news, either it became critically endangered or its status shifted to some other category. So that you have to read. Any species that is in use, that becomes important for you. Second is the international conventions, then the international organizations, and organizations related to environment in India. So these are some of the important things that you can cover in the current affair magazine. So I think there will be hardly 5 to 6 current affairs related to environment every month. So that should not be a big task to get hold on. So yes, that is how you cover your environment portion. So the topics that I have mentioned, you should definitely be reading them, and mostly the question will be from them. And for current affairs, read Vision IAS monthly magazine. Its current affair will get covered in 5 or 6 pages, and there will be 5 or 6 topics only. So yes, that has been my strategy regarding environment. And if you still have any doubt regarding which sources to refer for environment or any other aspect of environment preparation, you can ask me in comment section. I'll be happy to answer. So thank you so much. I'll be seeing you in the next video.